Our next reader is a mama, a nanny, and a storyteller. She's a wise Mexican badass from Humboldt Park, Chicago. You can hear her tell stories everywhere and anywhere. Lily is a Moth Grand Slam champion and host and producer of her own storytelling show, The Stoop. A bio does not do Lily B justice. After listening to her stories, you should talk to her and invite her over to make tamales. Experience the magic that is Lily B. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I don't use a stand. I am 5 years old, and I'm in my room playing with my Barbies. And it's a different day because normally my mom's there, but my mom's not there this day. My grandma picked us up from school, and so I'm in my room, and I hear the front door open. And then behind that sound of the door, I hear footsteps, and these footsteps are heavy, like angry, like those footsteps that you hear when someone's just stomping through the house, and that's what they were. And they were my mom's footsteps, and I watch her cross, like just past the room, and she goes into her room, and I hear her just rummaging through the room. And those same angry footsteps walk right past the room, out back, open the door, and she had in her hands as she passed by bags. And in those bags, what I could tell that she had stuff in it. That's my dad's stuff. She did about 3-4 more trips like this. She went back and forth, and then when she ran out of duffel bags, she had garbage bags for about 30 minutes. And every time I tried to step out of the door, she told me to get back. Like, step out of my room, she told me to get back inside. Angry, hissy, almost. About 30 minutes later, the door opens again. She's in the room, the door opens again, and this time, the footsteps, same heavy footsteps, but not angry. These are tired. These are dragging. And it's my dad this time. And now my dad and my mom meet in the dining room right outside my door. And he's saying, I'm sorry, perdóname, morena, perdóname, which is her pet name because she's dark. And she's like, no, David, no, ya, vete de aquí, vete, like leave, you have to go. And I'm sitting there watching this, wondering like, why is my mom being such a hypocrite? Real talk, like when I fight with my sister, you make her apologize to me and I have to forgive her, I have to. Why are you not forgiving my father, my daddy? That's what I'm thinking, I mean, I'm not gonna say it. And so that's the last day I saw my father. Well, I seen him, like he became a Jehovah's Witness, and then I would see him like go around the block and stuff. But I would like, as far as in my house, he was never in my house. And I was mad at my mom about this, for this. I was so mad at her. And for 11 years, you guys, I took it out on her. I was such an asshole to my mom. Because every time I asked her why, or every time I told her, I said, Mom, what, why? Why is he gone? She'd say nothing. And in my little young brain as I grew up, that silence made her guilty, made her so guilty. Like how bad, how horrible was the thing that you did, Mom, that you can't even say it. And so I'd run away, and I'd write him letters, and I'd cry, and I'd just blame her for it. So it's no surprise that like 16, I get pregnant because like I have daddy issues. So I gotta have my baby. And so I'm pregnant, and at 6 months, my grandma passes away. And so we all have to go to Texas. And I had moved out of my house when I was 15. It was so contentious with my mom that I moved in with my best friend who then became my baby daddy. And so I didn't want to go to Texas. I did not want to have to take this drive with this woman in Texas, but I did. And so we end up in Texas, and my mom is part of this vigil that the family gets together and they do this 7-day, or 5-day, it was a couple-day vigil where they go to the funeral home and the remaining siblings, they do the rosary, and they send the body off to be good. And I got left behind to watch the the drunk aunt, my alcoholic aunt. She's so cool, guys. So I was like, cool, I'll stay with Tia Abuela. And so Tia Abuela and I are hanging out one day in front of the house. And she's asking me about my baby and like how excited I must be. And then she starts asking me about his father. And then I tell her that he's fine. My son's father's father. Oh my gosh, he's going to be so great. And I'm not going to drive him away the way my mother drove away my father. And my aunt lets out this cackle that like the women in my grandma's family like, it's like super crazy cackle. She says, "Is that what you think? Es lo que crees?" And I'm like, "What I think? That's what I know. What you talking about?" She says, "Oh, honey." And then proceeds to tell me this story. So you guys get two stories in one. Apparently so on the day that I was 5, that little day I was 5, my mom had been like forever had suspected my dad of cheating. She knew that he was a cheater, but she didn't know because she didn't have proof. So her and my grandmother concoct this plan. They're just like, look, I'll take care of the girls. You tell them you have a doctor's appointment. This is all my grandma. I know it is. She's like, you tell them you have a doctor's appointment, then you're gonna go and spy on him. And the way they decided my mom would spy on my dad is that at that time, 85, we have a conversion van. And in the back, y'all remember conversion vans, they had like the bench, and then you could take the bench and turn it into a bed. You take the slats, turn it into bed, cushions, bam, bed. So my mom hid in the 2x2 little hole in the middle of the benches and waited for him to get up and go to work. So she's in there 7:30 a.m., 8:30, 9:30. He's already like on his way there. He's already at work. 10:30. And at about 11 o'clock, 11:30, he comes out and it's lunchtime. So he drives somewhere. And she hears the passenger door open. And the woman gets in the car. And then they drive to get lunch. And they get back in the conversion van and then they go to a park where they like sit and eat and talk and make out and then fuck right on top of my mama. And she said nothing. Real quick, it couldn't have been me. It could not have been me. It could not have been me. Through the mattress, you guys. Something. Oh my gosh. Crime of passion. If it was me. But not my mom. Like, my mom just stayed there and waited for him to finish. She listened to the fucking and the oohs and the ahs and the post-coital conversation of him leaving my mother, and then let my dad drive her ass back to work. And as my dad was driving back to his job, she like army ninja crawled like out of the hole and then sat her ass in the passenger seat. Cause she's like 4'11", you guys. And he damn near crashes the car. Like, where the fuck you come from? And she's like, where the fuck you think I came from? And she's like, that's it. I know. Like, I have the proof. And they fought, and she somehow managed to kick him out the fucking van and drive him home. And what I witnessed was after that. What I had seen at 5 years old was that. And my aunt tells me this. And I'm like, what the frick? What? No. And she's like, that's what happened. So I wait and I sit down and I wait for my mom, who's supposed to come like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then I see her little 4'11" shadow coming. And as I approach, I was like, we gotta talk. You and I, we gotta talk. And she's like, surprised, because I never want to talk to her. So she's like, okay. I was like, so I was hanging with Tia Abuela, and she told me, and that's all I had to say, because she was like, what'd she tell you? Because she already knows. She's drunk. And I tell her, the van, Dad? And she says, yeah. And that's it. Like, she doesn't like anything else, but I get it. Like, I hug her, I apologize, like, I'm still apologizing for those fucking 11 years, you guys. I'm still making it up. Because I was a little asshole, you guys. But I know why she did it. I'm a mom now. I know that sometimes we have to protect our babies so that what we protect them from, they don't turn around and hurt people with it. Because if she told me who my dad was, I'd have hated him. I'd have hated him to this day. I'd have been like, fuck y'all, fuck all y'all in this room, every single one. But I don't. I love y'all. I love all you guys. And that's what mamas do, right? We protect our babies. Thank you.